I auditioned for Traitors.
They were taking auditions.
Yeah, they were like initially like the casting brief was that they wanted people from different walks of life, and I kind of made the cut as an intimacy coordinator. They were like, "ये कुछ अलग
Oh.
level का job profile है."
Yeah. And
Phir-
then you started a podcast.
No, no, we were basically on Zoom, and that was the day that my Wi-Fi stopped working. So they
Oh.
were like, "Would you rather be a traitor or would you rather be a contestant?"
Hi guys, welcome back to Moment of Silence Pod. I'm Sakshi Shivdasani.
I'm Naina Bhan.
And we are back, just the two of us.
It feels like, I don't know, it feels weird.
You feel scared when it's just the two of us.
If there's a guest, I can focus all my energy.
And if there's no guest,
I'm lost.
yeah. But we'll start with a great segment that we came up with last sometime.
Yeah, no chat GPT was involved.
No, it's called the popcorn and the flopcorn. What was your popcorn of the week?
My popcorn of the week was that last night till 3 a.m., Natasha, I, and Mubarak finished 2 new singles.
Ooh, like you finished them off.
Yeah,
Two
done.
single people.
2 single songs about heartbreak, actually.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Who broke your heart so bad, bro? She's in a happy, healthy relationship.
I know.
I'm not understanding.
See, first it was the breakup, and then it
Okay.
was like full daddy issues.
Fair
so now
enough.
it's like one lifetime of feeling abandoned, you know?
Well, now it's in music. It's immortalized.
I swear, I feel like Ranbir Kapoor in Rockstar.
I've
Like,
not watched it.
what are you saying?
Yeah.
I'm one flight away from sitting at a dargah, and it has to be in Delhi.
Okay. Let's make
You're
it
like-
happen. Fuck.
I can watch the reference go over.
Yeah, I have no
I'm like,
idea.
how have you not? Rockstar is a great movie. I was rewatching it the other day. It really holds up. The edit is great. Alia's mom edited it.
Oh,
Amazing. Still
Yeah.
holds up. I actually didn't like the movie so much the first time I watched it. And this time I was like, wow.
crazy.
Just shows you where cinema has gone since then.
Love to see. I
What's
have
your-
no reference to this. I was thinking of Rock On for like 4 minutes and then I'm like, but yeah, Rockstar.
What's your popcorn?
I got my open water certificate, scuba. I scuba'd for the first time, and the first day I did not like it at all. I was underwater. And my ears weren't equalizing, right? Because the pressure goes high.
Yeah.
And it wasn't equalizing at all. And at one point, that guy was like asking me if I'm okay. And I was like, no. And I was signaling like this. And this is apparently the sign of out of air or can't breathe. So he got really nervous.
In Vadala, this means something entirely different. Also can't breathe.
That's so true.
Yeah.
What the fuck? When did Badala catch a stray?
Yeah.
But it was just that my ears weren't equalizing. So then I left the first day. We did like 2 dives and I like texted everyone. It's like, oh, it's such a scam. People think it changes your life. Like, it's so boring. It's not even fun, blah, blah, blah. And then the second day, my ears equalized. Although I did get a nosebleed every time I was equalizing my ears. It's just a thing. He was like, don't equalize so hard. I was like, I don't care, bro. My ears hurt more than my nose.
You're just a 0 to 100 kind of
Yeah.
person.
You know me.
Yeah.
But then I really enjoyed it the next day.
You know how you know a bitch is happy? She is so quiet.
Me?
Anybody, any woman who's happy is silent.
No.
Yes.
No, because my number one complaint with scuba was like, how am I supposed to talk underwater? Like, I literally went up and I was like, this is a crime against yapper girls. It's not a yapper girl sport because, you know, a couple of times I choked underwater because I started laughing. Like, something happened and I was like, what, am I just supposed to breathe?
Yeah.
I have to laugh. So I think I'm not happy.
What a
about
great
not
way for
talking.
the incels to raise a GoFundMe to send you underwater. You can get all your scuba trips funded.
Honestly, make it happen. A liveaboard in Maldives is my new goal. But yeah, I will shut up underwater for 40 minutes at a time.
Flopcorn?
Flopcorn. I do have a few. But most importantly, so I've been wearing lenses for a few years and now my eyes get damn dry, and like the sun and the lights and everything really bothers them. So I splurged on sunglasses, okay? And I hate sunglasses as a concept. I think it's so dumb. Like, it's just like not a vibe for me. But I did splurge on sunglasses, and I have unfortunately misplaced them.
And they're like it girl sunglasses.
They're cute. Yeah.
They're cute. They're fucking Mew Mew.
Yeah.
They're it girl sunglasses.
Rest in peace.
My Flopcon,
Yeah.
I just spilled matcha on this outfit just before entering this room. And
But there's no trace of it.
I mean, I cleaned it off, but yeah, the pantry guy looked at me like he wanted to send me to Vadala. Just
But it's a
over.
very cute outfit. And
Where's it from?
buy one, get one.
Oh, yeah,
From Hasina by Ashna Suri, who has sent it to us. My tits don't usually look like that. But today, I'm also covering my traps. Because I've gotten really like jacked suddenly. And now I'm trying to be feminine also.
The only thing I was getting from your trip to the Philippines was fucking Varun Dhawan level thirst traps that you're
Bro.
sending me of your guns. And I was like, is this my sexual awakening or not? When is it going to be my sexual awakening?
Soon, inshallah.
Dude, there's this concept, okay? It's called a Boston marriage. It came up in the 19th century, and now people think that this is like the early like lore of the queer community. So two women would just like live together and choose not to get married, choose not to
They weren't
court
allowed.
men. What? No. I mean,
Get
not
married. Oh,
get
to
into
other
marry like
people.
heterosexual relationships.
Yeah.
And these two women would just live together, and they would just like be
Cohabit.
cohabitors. Cohabitors?
We're
Cohabit.
from Vadala.
Cohabitors. And is that cool? That's what I want to do.
Yeah, I think you've just discovered lesbianism.
No, that
So sorry.
right in time for Pride Month.
Ooh.
Did you guys check out our logo? It's right there.
There.
It's right there.
It's there.
Isn't it cute?
Yeah.
I love this logo.
I hope you'll like it.
Yeah.
We could have gotten a queer person on, but we chose a logo instead, huh?
That's sick.
We're allies. No, we did try. No one's dates were available because, you know, let the queer people make money this month. Let
I
them
swear.
not do free appearances.
So I don't know how we started doing tokenism.
Yeah.
And it's
like,
done in the most.
Actually, I don't see people's sexuality when I'm talking about them. I'm so sorry. I'm an ally. That's all I know.
Yeah. Sorry. This is the crassest, most like
We
out of
support.
touch.
But you know who would really like this style of humor?
Who?
Queer people. So sorry. I don't know where this is going. What's your flopcon, did you say?
Did I say? Yeah, I said
Yeah,
I dropped
matcha.
matcha.
You know, I honestly think spilling things and stains, I think we should, like, ironing and stains are fine. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to iron your clothes anymore. You don't need to make sure they're not torn. You don't need to make sure that they're spill free, is my hot take. Respectfully, you should just ignore the spills.
I love that every episode we come up with one thing that we're so passionate
Yeah.
about, and it changes humanity in no shape or form.
I think if people are more accepting of wrinkled clothes, the world will change.
Justice for Meera Kapoor episode.
But you know, that was an actual YSL crinkled
I know.
shirt.
Who's going to explain?
No, but honestly, you know, high fashion is kind of
Really
out.
bad. Yeah.
Like, there's like a lot of things that are just like seen as art, and I don't think anyone's supposed to wear them. But people wear them. And then obviously, me as a normal person and other normal people, I'm just like, you for real. I'd be like, what the fuck is that?
So I was in Dubai.
Yeah.
And we went to the Balenciaga store, and you know, it's really sad all the stuff that happened with Balenciaga and the weird pedophilia
Yeah.
campaign. Separate from that, one of the ugliest brands I've ever seen in my life.
For fucking
Like
real.
it's so fucking ugly.
Yeah. Like, leave aside the controversy, who's buying it anyway?
Yeah.
This fucking sock shoes really, like, yuck.
Can I insert this image? We've got new editing. So please insert this image of this sneaker. Okay, this is a sneaker that a friend of mine wanted to buy.
Oh.
Okay. And I was like, this might look nice in like Berlin, but this in Lokhandwala looks like you just stepped on a fucking puddle and a gutter and everything. And the woman at the store was like, it's meant to be like that. And I was like, bitch, come
Yeah.
to Vada. No.
No, but also, have you seen that one Japanese brand that's making cloth bags out of like, you know, the sari bag material? I don't know. Have you guys seen it? It's like very inspired. It's like a theli, basically,
Yeah.
a cloth theli that they're selling for like, I think, I don't know, some amount of dollars that's too expensive. But it's at Selfridges, it's everywhere. And people are like, what the fuck if I bought this for like the price that they're selling it for? My mom would kill me because it's like a 50 rupee bag. But apparently it's a thing. And I think it's like the Scandinavian scarfism of thelis. This is a dupatta.
This is a Scandinavian scarf. Is this a Scandinavian scarf or a dupatta? Comment.
It's
down
a dupatta. A Scandinavian scarf is a dupatta. A dupatta is also easier to say than scarf. You're telling me these Firangs can't say half the words, but suddenly they can say Scandinavian scarves and they can't say dupatta. You know what?
Wait.
Yeah.
This reminds me, can I tell you my dumbest flop con?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm in Dubai and I'm shopping, okay? And every time I have to tap my card, it shows you two options, right? It shows you
I know what you're saying. Dirham and INR.
and INR. And I'm like, मैं खर्चूंगी अपने देश की
Sari
currency.
jahan se acha. Yeah. And you get fucked.
And I'm fully Forex marked up on everything. And I'm feeling so patriotic every time I swipe my
This
card.
happened to me also. Like, I do it every single time. But so I was in the Philippines because my brother lives there, right? So I had only carried my Amex because I was like, I don't need anything else. Now, in the Philippines, they really like cash as a currency, which, you know, as a Bharatiya who has UPI, I'm not for that. But you know, I understand that India is so developed, so it's fine. But in the Philippines, they don't take Amex anywhere. And then I was like stuck. So my brother was giving me kharchi every morning. So I had some money to spend. But then on the way back, I was at Thailand airport. They don't take Amex anywhere to eat. Only one place took Amex. Shout out Burger King, but I fucking hate Burger King, okay? Like, I feel like crying every time I have to eat a burger. And then I was just like trying, like, I'll order whatever, you know, like, because it's not going to work anyway. So then I tried it and then I swiped my card and it worked. So I was stuck with the worst sandwich that ever existed. But the Coke Zero was really good.
Sakshi, just like all of us. Another flop con, you know?
Tell me more.
So, the thing with going to like other countries is that you are the Indian that went there on holiday, but the Indian staring back at you is the person that went there to do a blue collar job.
Yeah.
And the other Indians around you are all blue collar individuals. So when you're walking around and you're like spending money, you're having a good meal, and then you see the person cleaning the street or the person in the washroom, I just have this like really gigantic like socialist mental breakdown where I'm like, do I deserve this life? Why am I here?
That's a good
My
question.
fellow brethren is working so hard.
Yeah.
And then I go to everybody and I have like that, you know, that uncle conversation. You sit and you like sit for 20 minutes. You're like, batao, aapki kahani kya hai? Aap kahan se aaye aap? And I feel like a complete asshole.
Why India doesn't have poor people?
No, it doesn't. Here's like a full spectrum of classes, you know? It doesn't feel that hard.
No, my toxic trait is every time I'm out of the country, like, I would not talk to these people in Bombay, okay? Like, whoever I meet, any uncle, any auntie. But if I see another Indian tourist, I'm like, why aren't they being nice to me? I'm also Indian. Like, I expect some sort of brotherhood.
What do you want them to do?
I want them to be like, here's my thepla. Do you want to share?
Next
Why not?
time.
I'll
Next time.
share my food.
What? Your Burger King.
My Burger King, I would have shared if someone asked. But no one asked because I was watching my podcast. Oh, bro, oh, fuck everything. I only watch one podcast, I've realized. Moment of Silence.
That's such a
Everywhere
lie.
I go,
I, as the client, I'm like, this is just full fucking cap.
I
You don't
watch
listen.
it after it's uploaded, actually.
That's not what I want. I want you to
know,
watch it before.
But you're not the client.
I
We're
am the-
equal partners in this. I'm so sorry. Have you heard of a Boston marriage?
just to tell you that an episode goes live and 3 months have passed and then suddenly Sakshi's gone on vacation and there's a message. Guys, in this episode from 3 months ago, was this supposed to happen? And I was
Yeah,
just
I'm
like,
genuinely curious.
yeah, shut the fuck up.
So sorry.
This marriage is not working.
Marriage as an institution doesn't work for me.
Dude, okay, do you know about the 4B movement that's happening in Korea? Oh, it's been happening for a little bit. It's a very, very
4B?
tiny, ultra radical feminist movement that's happening in Korea.
No.
It's like B is for bi or B. It's like 4 no's in Korea by this radical feminist group. And one is, okay, so you don't date men, you don't sleep with men, you don't have babies, and you don't get married.
So I'm doing that.
Yeah, so am I. Boston
Yeah.
marriage.
How are you doing it?
Oh.
What the fuck?
Shit, I forgot. No, I want to play with my friends.
No, so
Yeah.
okay. I did download Hinge after that episode where I was like, I've not been on dating apps for 6
Yeah.
months. I was like, let's see if anything has changed. I matched with the same people I matched with 6 months ago. And I had the same conversations with those people. And then after a while, I just deleted the apps because I was so bored.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to date a man. But you really have to enjoy a first date because a man is never going to treat you as nice as he did on the first date. So have as many first dates as you want.
I have to disagree.
Sure.
I have to disagree. I think it's totally dependent on the man.
And name one man that's been the same as the first date or better.
Better with
No,
lot.
I know your answer. No.
What do you mean? I'm gonna
No.
shout out my boyfriend.
That's why I said
No.
I said no already. So sorry. You're telling me your boyfriend treats you better now than he did on the first date.
Yeah.
I don't buy it.
It's
Give me
not yours to
proof.
buy.
You brought it up. Give me proof.
I can't give you proof because we're very private people. I who run a podcast where I share my entire life, and he who's ultra private.
You just said you're doing the 4B movement.
I got carried away because I wanted
Yeah.
to be included in the women's circle.
You have to pick a lane.
I know how to pick a lane.
Pick a lane right now.
I'll pick
I'm waiting.
the boy.
Okay, so you're not doing the 4B
I'm not. I'm
movement.
doing
So you're
3
just-
Bs. 3B?
What's the 3B movement?
No marriage,
Okay.
no baby,
Okay.
and I don't be friends with boys.
That's not one of the 4Bs. So
It's a new movement. I can make up my own B.
for the committed women, it's a 2B. It's a 1B. I have no friends. So
It's a 1 RK.
what's a RK?
RK is
Room
a room
kitchen.
kitchen. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But no, so then I was thinking, I was like, genuinely, if you start discarding this one part of your life, which is like a man in your heterosexual relationship, and being a mother at some point, what does that leave room for? And who do you become?
Means?
Means means that as you go through life, or when you are born and you have consciousness as a girl child,
Yeah.
you're first romanticized through movies, through conversation, etc., etc. Your whole life is kind of groomed to a relationship being a focal point, your wedding, which designer you're going to wear, how you're going to fight with your in-laws, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the kid, and then everyone's talking about, is the kid going to be vegan? Is his name going to be Arab? It's just like if I remove all of that,
Then,
then who am I?
was this ever a genuine thought in your head, or are you just making it
No,
up as you go?
I'm making it up as
Yeah.
I go along. But no, but the kid part is definitely a thought in my head.
So my parents actually, I still think if I go and tell my parents I want to be married, they'll be like, there's no need.
Yeah.
They're like, if I want kids, there's no need. Just work on yourself, be independent, have a good career and all. I think I was just raised like that. But I think in all of that, my parents now, I think, are realizing that, fuck, I wish one of my kids got married. But my sister and I, there's no need. Because, I mean, I don't know whether we were discouraged from, having, relationships or, crushes. I feel like that's a very Indian parent thing, right? When you're in school and all, they're like,
Don't,
ladki
yeah.
ka chakkar, maut se takkar vibes. You haven't heard
Never
this.
heard that.
What the fuck? What dirty corners of the internet y'all are on? I don't know. But then after like a while, like you have your first few boyfriends, your parents are like, there's no need, right? They're not fans of them. They're like, whatever. And then in your late 20s, as I am right now, my parents are like, so do you have anyone in your life? And I'm like, I just went through the most traumatic breakup of my life. Weren't y'all there for this? So now my parents are like, just, there's no need to become a wife. You enjoy, you look happy. Don't get bogged down.
I mean, same.
Yeah.
But then even my mom and I are the same person. So we'll end up being like, yeah, we don't need this and we don't need that. But wouldn't it be cute if we had a little baby in the house?
Yeah, honestly, it would be cute if you have a little baby in the house, but it's more fun if it's your friend's baby that you can give back when you're done with it.
But I don't want to ask permission to play with this baby. That's the issue.
Don't. Just take it. The baby can't talk.
I'm waiting for you to have a baby.
I don't.
Because when you have this baby, I know I can, like, I have full control over
I
this
would give
child.
it to you.
Yeah.
If I give birth to a baby, I
It's
feel like,
mine.
yeah, it's yours.
Yeah.
What a weird fucking conversation. Like,
You know what? The other day
so I get the body dysmorphia and no baby. That's sick.
Did you ever, when you were a kid, get like one of those 50 rupee, 100 rupee barber haircuts?
No.
I was just thinking about this the other day. There was a traumatic memory that unlocked because I currently am going through, if any woman is going through a massive hair loss and hair shed, that I was just thinking about like all the beautiful hair I had on my head as I was removing it in
Yeah.
the shower from my head. And I remember my mami took me to the barber. And the guy took a razor and he just went like
Shut
that
the
and he gave
fuck
me a
up.
mushroom cut.
Shut the fuck up.
And thank fuck I was a cute kid because I carried it off. Like I worked overtime. I looked really cute. But that was not, like I didn't need that in my life.
Yeah, it happened to me 5 years ago.
You got a katora cut from a barber.
No, I went to the salon
Oh,
and
yeah.
all my hair
Oh, yeah.
fucking fell out. And then, I'm actually getting quite irritated, but I will tell you, my other flop con. So I've been getting a lot of messages going like, oh my God, when I started following you back in 2021, your hair was shit. It was garbage. It was disgusting. You literally looked like a fucking troll. You looked so ugly and your hair was so damaged and so dirty. And now it looks so healthy. What did you do? And what the fuck? Like, why are you telling me that my hair was garbage and I literally looked like a mole rat? And you still, in spite of your in spite of your bias against my hair, in spite of you being physically repulsed by my appearance, you managed to click that follow button. And now that my hair is nice, it's like, oh, what have you done? But it's just that I had a fucking traumatic accident because some has fucking damaged my hair and now it's grown back, and I always had touchwood really normal hair, and now I'm like, suddenly I'm the girl that was like really ugly and then now I'm hot again. But before that fucking 2020 to 2021 period where I was a uggo, I'm not saying no, before that I was hot and now I'm getting back there and I don't want to be associated with the ugly version of
What do
me.
you mean?
Means I looked really bad.
No, firstly, you
no,
never look
multiple
bad.
people have told me that.
That's okay. People can tell you the fucking sky is green. It's not.
Sometimes it is.
Just-
In the right light, eh?
And I don't want your child. Keep your child.
My child is going to have really nice hair. Yeah. And so I'm just like I get it. You want to know how I got my hair healthy. But they literally start with, yo, your hair was so fucking ugly. How did you get it? How did you get it here? I'm like, relax, just ask me a normal, like, what do you do for your hair? Like, just don't have to go into a backstory of how I was a certified uggo.
But I have to say that as a country, conversation is not a strong suit. Number one, humor, not a strong suit.
No.
Apparently, you can't make jokes anymore.
I want to know if you have an occupation and you're okay to have jokes made about you,
Comment.
please comment which occupation I'm about to joke about. Because so far, motorcyclists I have pissed off. and
Street vendors.
not vada pav lovers.
Yeah.
And
DJs.
DJs. And I'm sure we've pissed off other people
Yeah.
as well.
Career counselors,
Car-
doctors,
Gynacs.
gynacs.
And God forbid I try to keep track of all these things, but it's not possible at this point. And like at this point, every time I open my mouth, I'm accused of rage bait, and I'm just talking. I'm just enjoying life talking. People are getting pissed. It's like rage bait.
Dude, so I just figured out how to be a little funny, right? Like little bit.
She's so
So
funny.
now, and when these things happen, right? Like when things get FIRs against them, etc. So I'm literally like trying to solve a math problem of like, so what can I joke about?
Yeah.
What can I joke about?
You can joke
the
about your
queen of
parents.
no, you can't joke about.
You can joke about sex. Would you rather formats really work well?
Keeping aside this little baity section, genuinely, what can you joke about? If you joke about yourself, it's triggering for other people. If you joke about other people, it's triggering for other people. So like I don't know how to talk anymore.
See, the thing is, when everything gets you in trouble, then everything's fair game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I strongly believe. If anyone is unique, is anyone truly unique?
What a beautiful sentiment. So one, when humor is lost amongst
Yeah.
the people. Second is just generally I've noticed whenever we're having a conversation, right? And come sit next to a person and have a conversation with them. It's not like you need to have some flair, you need to throw something at another person. A conversation can't just be hello. Yes.
Yeah, like
Goodbye.
boring people need to stop. Like, work on yourself a little, because it's like really boring to be around boring people. Like, I'm not vibing when I'm around a boring person, and then I feel like I have to be more interesting. But then I'm like, if that person is okay with being boring, why am I not okay with being boring?
I think basically there is a death of curiosity, and I would really urge you to look into your life and look into your everyday and genuinely ask, how many times am I curious about something? Or am I always going there to make a point? Sakshi, your hair was shit.
Thanks.
Why is it better now? Like,
How rude.
no, I'm like, that's what kind of conversation is that? Whereas we like, wow, how does someone do something is curiosity.
What is a good conversation starter when you enter a room? do
I
you
know
think?
yours.
What's mine?
Say na some gossip.
Yeah, it works.
It only works with Sakshi.
It works every single time.
She's like the Pied Piper of gossip,
means
bro.
I have gossip that people wouldn't reveal in like therapy. But they come and tell me, and it's too much fun for me. And I will say, I always tell them, I'm not going to keep your secret. But they're excited to tell me, so why not? And it works. What is yours now? It's not about me.
What is mine? Mine is like,
No, Naina will be like, what's the worst thing you've done for money? Or like she'll ask some like really deep question, and then everyone's like, oh. And then they'll come back with it. And then they'll ask her, she has an answer ready, because she's been like, Nena's really good with navigating different groups. Like recently we were hanging out with some friends, and they were all a little bit older, and I think Nena was the youngest, and then me. So Naina was really trying to bridge the gap between me and them. And it was a very sweet attempt, because it really worked also. Like, I felt quite included in that, because before that I was quite lost.
you were totally zoned out.
Yeah. I have a hard time paying attention when the conversation is not about something I want to talk about.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I never
Nothing.
want to talk also. Like, I feel like I've become if the conversation isn't fun for me, I can't even pretend to be interested.
My thing is that I get so little time to genuinely hang out with people, and in Mumbai, you're always meeting at work or some kind of event. Then rather than making small talk, I don't want to trauma dump, but I want to at least like have a 5-minute ultra
Yeah.
bonding session and then bounce.
But what is genuinely a good conversation
Um,
starter?
What's a good conversation starter? Like, just like if somebody's not from Mumbai, I always ask what the journey's been like,
Yeah,
and then
we've seen that in the podcast.
it works every
It works,
time.
yeah.
It works every fucking time.
It does.
Then to neutralize, you give a compliment from your heart.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
it's very hard to search your brain like that when you're talking to new people, but um I feel like networking is the best skill you can have, because I know when people are just starting out and they're shy, networking is social climbing in their head.
Hmm.
But networking is so good as like how else do you build contacts, right? Like just because someone has more social capital than you, does it become social climbing, or are you that good at making friends?
Yeah, no, and also you don't know who you're meeting, and they might not make sense to you today, but it's good to know what everybody's like capabilities and skill set are, because next thing you know, you need, like, right now we're going around looking for like permanent offices for Moss, because we also recognize that the third chair is fucking uncomfortable.
I don't think it's that I don't think I owe anyone comfort, is what I think. I
Fair.
think people should be a little
I
uncomfortable
agree with
around
that.
me.
I
But
agree.
sure.
But we would like a forever home for this Inshallah
Yeah.
Forever
2-year
podcast.
lease types.
Yeah. And like Sakshi introduced me to the broker that we're currently with. And that guy, apart from being a broker, is just a generally funny
Fun
dude.
guy, yeah.
So now we just hang out for masti.
Yeah.
And he's giving us full gossip. The other day after you left, him and I sat and I literally like broke down how two people need to show up in a relationship. Like it was A for apple, B for ball.
Why?
Because I think we were talking about like marriage and things like
Yeah.
that. And I was like, why don't you look at it? He's like, I'm very stressed about like arranged marriage and love marriage and this and that. So I was like, why don't you look at it like a partnership? And his mind was blown. It's like, ये आपने जो बोला है ना, ये मुझे बहुत बढ़िया लगा. I was like, did I say something that amazing?
I
Didn't
love
clock.
this. Like,
No, I'll tell you what it was. It's like, and then I realized also, like, a lot of young people, like, I feel like now young people are getting married. Like, it's the life hack from BuzzFeed everyone
Yeah.
read about,
yeah.
And you don't really understand when you start living together, especially like 25, 26-year-olds, what that would bring out, right? So, little things like even like cleaning up after yourselves. I think there's a level of magic that, like, sorry to say, I'm sorry, but I think there's a level of magic that boys think happens in the house. Like when you close your eyes, some elves come and do some shit around you.
Literally, fuck that. It's so irritating.
So that's what he was saying. He's like, I was living, I was the first time I was living outside my house, and first like 3 weeks, he's like, I would eat something, I'd put it down. Agle din tha hi nahi wahan pe. I ate a pizza, I put the box. Next day, it wasn't there. And then after some time, the person who was his flatmate was like, dude, I've been doing this for you for fucking 3 weeks. Like, show up for yourself. And he's like, then I realized that you have to do your own tasks.
So sorry, isn't this really low IQ?
No,
That you haven't realized
no.
that some.
I don't think it is. I think I think parents and I think mums are very guilty of coddling their children to a point where they make their services feel so invisible that you don't even know that it's happening. So when somebody's like, oh, usme kya hai? I was like, what happens if like your wife also is not domesticated? So like, theek hai, so we'll get house help and it'll be automated. So I was like, who will automate it? You know who's
Yeah.
automated it in your house? You know it's an everyday thing.
Yeah.
Like every day you will have to have a conversation with this person. Then one day they'll have to leave for the village. They'll come in 2 days, but they don't come back. Then you have to fight with the driver. Then you have to, all of these things require one HR person, and that
Yeah.
HR person is always the. But this, I'm saying, for you and I, it's like it's obvious. But
I
for a
think
lot
it's
of people,
obvious for everyone, and I think people that don't think it's obvious are weaponizing their incompetence. What do you mean, ugly than thane? Like, obviously, you know that someone has picked it up and done it, right? Like, you're aware. You may want to be like, oh, thank God I don't have to deal with this mess. And I'm the number one calm chore, okay? So I know that when there's a mess and then I come back and, like, if it's me and my sister in the house, I'll wait for her to get hungry so that she'll heat up the food. I know I'm weaponizing my incompetence in that moment. I know if I do something badly, my parents or my sister or my bua or someone will rush to do it for me. But I know I'm being an asshole in that moment. So all I'm saying is like, okay, you don't do it. And like to any man, if you're not doing it, be a bum about it. But say I am a bum. say I am an asshole, say I am not helpful, and I'll be like, okay, you know what? At least he knows he's a bum.
Wait. Okay, I'm just saying, I
हाँ.
am the millennial apologist here, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, ठीक है, तेको नहीं आता, all okay. But no, wait, I'm not saying I'm doing the
I'm
task.
just looking at the camera.
Yeah, I
so
know, and I
sorry.
saw the way you fucking looked at the camera before you plausibly deny what you did.
Weaponize my incompetence, you mean? I have no idea what I'm doing.
Look,
Say.
all I'm saying is that I realized, okay, after a certain like set of episodes that we've had, and the comments that I've been reading, I'm like, okay, is this, if people can just step out and ask for help, and if there's one time that I can explain to you how it is, then just listen to what I'm saying. I'm not going to fight with you and be like, I'm screaming, no, you're such an idiot, you don't know how to do this, and the other person like, oh, this bloody fatherless behavior, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's not a conversation, right? So if you're a guy and you're currently dealing with wherever like the world has progressed right now, the girl that you would have previously been able to get married to and set into very like gendered roles is now not only more educated than you, is earning at par or more than you, is also needing to
Hotter.
go to the office like 24/7 because inflation is so high that
Yeah.
2 income households are inevitable, and then is asking you, hey buddy, like show up in the house. You can be overwhelmed if you've been raised in an environment where you don't even know, or it's never been expected of you in your life to put your plate away or to do
Yeah.
anything. Just ask for help and say, yeah, actually, I don't know. And then if you show some like
Initiative.
I'm here. तुम मेरे से हाँ है.
But I have a genuine question.
Yeah.
Not trying to like start a debate, but we've debated this before. The first time, let's use a gym analogy.
Right.
The first time a man enters a gym, do they know how to use equipment?
No.
Do they figure it out? The first time a PlayStation comes, does anyone know how to play FIFA? No. Do they figure it out? If they want something, it is so easy for them to figure it out.
100%. But I feel like there is still like certain gender situation with even the kind of knowledge, okay? Like, so if a guy is going to the gym, I'm making assumptions, I can be wrong, but this is my assumption of 33 years, that if he doesn't know how to do something, he's not afraid to ask the guys around him
Yeah.
to help and figure it out. Now, going to the gym is a very masculine thing, one would argue. Like traditionally masculine thing. Getting strong, lifting weights, going to war, all of these things are traditionally masculine
Yeah,
things.
okay.
So you feel like maybe easier, breezier to be able to have that conversation. Versus if I'm a guy and I go to my guy friend and be like, yeah, how do I haggle with the domestic help? And how much should I pay her for Diwali kharcha? I'm just saying,
I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if women are able to do these traditionally masculine things by themselves, like one would argue learning how to drive is masculine. All of these
Yeah.
are masculine, but necessity say, now we're going to, we have to do all these things. So we are figuring it out. Everything has a YouTube video for it. So I think it's actually like they don't want to do these things.
no one
So
wants
they-
to do it.
Yeah,
I
but
get
that's
it.
what I'm saying. But like, no one wants to work out either. No one wants to drive a car. Like, I swear on my life, I've never had the urge where I'm like, oh, I want to drive a car. But I fucking figured it out, right? Like, I don't want to have a job. I fucking figured it out because this is what is needed, is what my thing is. And I
Yeah.
think they are not asking the questions because they're like, maybe if I pretend like this is not happening, they will be like, isko nahi sikhate.
ठीक है, and that worked for a large period of time.
But
And now it's not going to work anymore, which is why people aggressively come out in arms against it.
yeah, I know. But I'm like, so I know that if I want money from my father, like if my father has money and I want it from him, I know how to talk to him to get it out. Now, the same thing if a man especially knows if his father has money, he needs to navigate this. Now, if you know your wife is or your partner is as hot as you, gives you happiness, is making the same amount of money, then why are you not able to talk to her the same way you're able to talk to these other people that you want things from? Like, you know, it's a taking for granted thing, right? Like, you're taking this person for granted because you're like, ye to karegi.
I think it's also like a nurture thing. If growing up you've seen these gender roles play out around you, then you will also react to people in the same way. And beyond the point, I feel like, I mean, the only thing I'm saying is that I'm okay to have a conversation. If you would want to come and have a conversation, or if you want any help, I'm happy to help.
Okay, I'm saying I'm not okay with having that conversation. Like, it's only that I genuinely think, like, and I was like thinking about this. I was on vacation with my brother, and I didn't have to pick up one bag, I didn't have to do any of that. Like, he was like thoughtfully leaving kharchi for me every morning and all of that. And these are things I never had to ask for. Like, I would wake up and it would all be sorted. And I know that that thoughtfulness, if it's there for his sister, I'm imagining that every man will have it for someone in his life. So I think it's, and I know I'm being like adding malicious intent to everything that a man does. I'm aware about this. I'm not saying like, oh, isse bhool gaya, is like he forgot this, he doesn't know this. I know I'm saying that, oh, he's doing it to piss me off. I'm aware of that. But I genuinely believe that if someone has a basic like thoughtfulness about like, iska, if I don't put the fucking clothes in the dryer by XYZ time, iska din kharab jayega. Like, I know that like this person is aware. They're just ignoring it.
Yeah.
So I think that's malicious.
Okay.
Like, is my thing. But again, I've had separate life experiences. I've had like I think I'm a little like too efficient. Like, I have this thing with punctuality. Like, if I know it's gonna take me 38 minutes in the morning to get ready, anything that makes it 39 minutes also, I start panicking because it comes in the way of my other tasks. And
Yeah.
that is something that I don't know why it is. I've been like trying to figure it out. But if I'm not on time for something, I genuinely truly believe that my world is going to end. So efficiency for me is paramount.
Yeah.
Like, I can't sleep if the kitchen is dirty. It doesn't matter if it's like whatever happens. Like, so if someone else is like going to do something that makes my task slightly more inefficient, and like, okay, I have a lot of patience with my dog because I'm not assigning malicious intent to what he's doing. But if it's another human in the house, then I'm like, तेरे में दिमाग थोड़ा कम है क्या? Like, you know, and I'm rude also. I'm not saying I'm a perfect partner. I'm just saying ki if you want to meet me at the Maidan, I can be ruder than whatever weaponized incompetence comes into play. Like, I'm very like, ab bhedenge. I'm from Vadala.
I am in the same place. Okay.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is I assigned malicious intent, and who was like sad at the end of that, who was hurt at the end of that, it was me. Whose time was wasted at the end of that, it was mine. Because I was just getting resentful and passive aggressive to everything that was weaponized incompetence. Now I'm in a stage of my life where I'm like, efficiency is key. I want the best from my life. There are certain things that I don't want to negotiate. I don't want to end up alone.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I need that person today,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
don't want to be in my ailing health by myself
Fair.
being like, subscribe to Moss, you know? But like,
Why not?
subscribe, but like, you know, you know what I mean?
Are you avoidant or anxious?
Now I'm nothing. I swear now
You
now
have
I'm
a
not.
secure attachment style.
I'm fully secure. Like, because I securely attach to myself, as corny as that sounds. I'm sorry, but that now if I start like telling you why and all,
No,
then
why
it's too
not?
fucking
It's a
annoying.
fucking podcast
Fine.
talk.
I'll try to do it without trauma dumping. Basically, what I realized was in the last year, I had to really reorganize my thought process and my self commitment and self resolve to fill a vacuum of a person who was my father, who was just too good
Yeah.
as a support system. And all that taught me was just that you will forever be alone. Like, you will forever be alone in this life. The people who can stand by you the most and will not do it successfully either, but will do the best shot, is your immediate family. After that, I would say friends, and then I would say partner.
Yeah.
And even when you put all of that aside, it's very lonely. So I'm just like, okay, these are things that I don't on a good day I can show up for myself, but on a bad day I really struggle. And now instead of like outsourcing the bad day wala feeling to somebody else, I just spend too much time trying to do it by myself, because
Yeah.
just the feeling of being abandoned hits really hard. So that's just where it is. So now I'm like too secure with myself. I'm like ठीक है, जिसको जाना है जाए, जो
Yeah.
भी होना है होए. I have to be happy with myself. So I renegotiated even every relationship in my life to be like, okay, till this point, I'm showing up for myself, and till here I'm secure. And now beyond this is like happy time. So come hang out. Like I'm on a hangout basis with everyone.
Avoidant. She just described a fully
Fully
avoidant.
avoid. No,
No, but I get it.
like I have no anxiety anymore, and I'm not
Yeah.
even avoiding like feeling anything anymore. I'm just like,
Slap you.
fine, I'm avoiding.
Welcome to
fine,
the
fine.
avoidance.
Fair.
But you know, as you were talking, my other hot take
Yes.
is that what people call fatherless behavior is actually what it is to have a good relationship with your father.
Gang.
Like, because if your father would if you think a girl's father should fucking beat her up for just expressing herself, तो daddy issues actually
तुम्हारे
में हैं. Like my dad and I are chilling, bro. My
Yeah.
dad will fucking go to war for me. You know,
Same, yeah.
that's the thing. Like, so everyone's saying fatherless behavior actually,
It's fatherful behavior.
yeah. Check yourself.
Yeah.
My father who texts me like, hey, actually, I don't like anything that you're doing. But he's there.
Okay, where are we?
I'm also avoidant, actually.
Yeah, I know you're
Yeah.
avoidant, which is why we have a podcast together.
But now you're also avoidant. Sorry,
Fun.
secure.
Such a dick.
No,
You know,
I
if
don't think
after
that-
this, you know what's gonna happen? I can read the comments as the podcast is happening. They're like, Naina's fucking delusional. Sakshi's the beacon of feminism. You know, then
What?
they'll be like,
No one likes me, just
what
to
are
be
you
clear.
saying?
You-
And now they'll be like, after you made these deeply
This
personal
bitch.
digs at
What
me.
the fuck? How are they deeply personal? You
She's-
described an avoidant attachment style. I'm calling out that it's avoidant, and I'm not even saying it as an insult. I think if you have to be anxious or avoidant, like, okay, secure is the best. But I think if you have to be anxious or avoidant, I'm like, babe, be avoidant. Because उसमें दूसरों का दिमाग fuck होता है. Because you can say anything to me and
True.
I'm like, so I'm actually going like, yeah. Like,
Thank you.
Because you're saying, oh, this is my circle, I'm me, myself, and I. Then happy time, and then that is literally the definition of avoidant. Like, I'm not even assigning any value.
I'm
to
just
it.
saying, if I had said this to someone else on this podcast, there would be a Reddit thread.
I'm just saying, I have just, like, there's been 2 episodes where people have lied to me.
No, that's not true.
What the
That's
fuck?
not true.
You know, in 2020,
Okay, listen.
I was the most hated content creator.
It's over now. No one
Then
knows that part.
2021. Then I started a podcast with Naina, and people were like, what is the talented actress Naina Bhan doing on a podcast with this bitch with an annoying voice? Why has she started a podcast? And then 2 episodes, Naina got railed because she was being a bitch.
That's true.
And she's not a bitch.
I
she
am.
was just, no, you're not.
Arey
She
yaar.
was just putting on a character because she was like, let's see. She's an actor. She was showing her talent. And once it was perceived a certain way, which I still don't buy because I think Naina's a really nice person. And it got to her. But then I just feel like they're not going to like you some episodes. They're not going to like me some episodes.
Yeah. And some episodes.
And some
neither.
episodes we don't like. Like, to be quite honest. So it's
Yeah.
okay. And how many of these people that don't like you would you meet and like?
Meet and like. All of them.
Shut up.
I love you. You're the best. Thank you so much for the constructive feedback on my personality. It's just the best.
Scared. No, I think if any hater met me in person, I think they would fall in love with me.
I think they love you. This is like that primary school thing of like, let me try and get her attention. Date 67.
Does it really hurt you when you feel like replying to a hate comment? Do you feel like, fuck, it got to me?
Yeah, of course.
Same.
I hate it.
Avoidant.
But I replied.
I know one comment today Naina broke and replied. I also broke and replied to one comment, but happens to the best of us.
But I do have to say, someone said in the Sanjana episode that why is Naina trying to make her, like, all I was saying was don't little what you've done, like tell people what you've done and just put it in front of everyone. And then someone was like, don't say that she needs to do it like a man. What is this man thing? Which I thought was so confusing because all I'm trying to say is that when successful women come to the floor and somebody asks them how they did something, they most often try to play it off and play off their achievements.
Yeah.
But when you do that, other women who are looking up to you or could look up to you further get confused and don't know what that pipeline looks like. All the men that I've seen on podcasts, I think they have such a flair in the way they talk about themselves and their achievements, including Andrew Tate. Okay, he can really talk about his achievements and he's a great orator. I don't agree with anything he says, but I know why a man would look up to him because he really makes it so clear for you to see. And I wish that women would do the same because then at least somebody can follow that pipeline and do something. Because as women, the messaging is so mixed. Like the first 20 years of your life, you're just being told to shrink and be efficient. And then the next 20 years of your life, you're like Jennifer's body. You want to feast on all the men and fucking pillage. And then,
Yeah, no, I
know-
get what you're saying with like I think like a man is basically that like, oh, shout your own achievements because
Yeah.
no one else is gonna do that for you. And one thing men do really well is pat themselves on the back. So I think that's what Nena meant. But also when when you're talking for like an hour, it's very difficult to be like PC for all audiences, but we made a pride logo. So obviously we are so politically correct. And on the right side of politics, guys, come on, our tokenism is not working. Guts. Now we can't even say like a man, but we did our tokenism. We did it. Come on.
just are we allies at the end of this, or are we just like the most offensive people on this planet?
I think my friends enjoy this sense of
I
humor.
agree. What was the thing that you responded to?
Oh, I pissed off DJs in my last two episodes ago, and one DJ was really going ham in the comments. So I was like, DJ wale babu, mera gana chala do. But I didn't like that I responded to that because, just any response, even if it's funny, means meko khatka, wo comment. But it didn't really affect me. I just thought it was a fun response. But I still, I don't respond to hate comments because I don't want anyone to go to bed with the satisfaction that they elicited a response out of me. Like, I'm zen. Yeah. Like I would never retaliate. Like you make fun of me, you do anything. I'm not going to like even if I could be like bitching and like screaming and crying in my private life, I'm never gonna give anyone the satisfaction that they got to me.
You know how to get to Sakshi. Just weaponize your incompetence and watch her eye twitch.
Bro, my eye really has started twitching
Her
when
eye twitches, like it's like physical comedy, but it's so earnest.
Yeah, no, I'm really a stereotype.
Bro, the last few episodes, can we please give it up to Sakshi's expressions? Like she has some relationship with the audience. Like you're constantly breaking the wall. You're like full conversations happening.
No.
What's up?
No, this new studio, I don't know where to look anymore. In the last studio, Ria used to sit there and Natasha used to sit there. So I used to keep looking at them for feedback.
Yeah.
But now I don't know where they're sitting because I didn't look. So now I just look at the cameras. It's what is happening. That's all that's happening.
This is an organic
What?
plug for Aankhon Ki Gustaki in theaters
watched
on
the
July
whole trailer.
11th.
Oh my God, Traitors is coming. It's
Oh,
not
shit.
it's not
It's not,
sponsored,
it's not.
okay?
Yeah.
But do I love a good dumpster fire show?
Ooh.
And did I get the spiciest gossip on one of the contestants on the show
Ooh. Yeah.
recently by a content creator who told me something which
Can't
she
tell
told
you.
me not to tell anyone. But Yeah, I'm excited for this dumpster fire.
Yeah, we've been hearing from different people's management that shit really went down.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that is edited out, but Sakshi and I are definitely going to get a little smashed and watch it.
Yeah.
And
I just really have to say we didn't get money for this.
yeah, we didn't. Actually, I was
I want money.
I auditioned for Traitors.
They were taking auditions.
Yeah. They were like initially like the casting brief was that they wanted people from different walks of life, and I kind of made the cut as an intimacy coordinator. They were like, "ये कुछ अलग
Oh.
level का job profile है."
Yeah. And
Phil-
then you started a podcast.
No, no, we were basically on Zoom, and that was the day that my Wi-Fi stopped working. So they
Oh.
were like, "Would you rather be a traitor or would you rather be a contestant?" And I said, "I would rather be a contestant."
Bro, I agree. Like in Mafia, I'm waiting to be a villager.
Yeah.
I can't handle the stress of being the Mafia because I don't like my first thing is like, okay, yeah, vote me out. I'll go get a drink.
But I'm a really, really good like one of the people kind of person,
Same.
because I'm really good at like stirring the pot. Like I have
Yeah.
amazing ability of stirring the pot. I've done it all my life, like in a very
Yeah.
nuanced way. And then I didn't know I was doing it for a long time, and then slowly I figured it out. And now I use it for
To her
masti.
advantage.
Yeah.
No, I want to be a villager because you have to keep a track of a lot if you're the Mafia.
Hmm.
Can you tell we haven't sat in front of this like camera in a while and we have a lot to get off our chest?
Good old ranty episode.
I have enjoyed. I still have more to rant about, but let's wrap this up. But before we can cut the cameras, you have to push one agenda.
Oh.
I have to push one agenda.
Hmm.
You want to go first?
I'll go first. I want to push the agenda of redoing a hobby that you used to have in your childhood. Because we just did a Kathak class.
We did.
I've never done Kathak, but I used to dance. And I just thought that I would be much better at it.
You were good.
No,
though.
I'm not saying it was
Yeah.
bad, but I was like, it was very like humbling to see how your body has evolved.
Hmm.
So go do a hobby that you did when you were a kid and
Yeah.
see how you feel about it.
Suck your thumb.
Yeah, Sakshi.
My agenda might sound a little silly, but I feel very strongly about it, and it's my podcast. So, I wake up at 6:45 every morning, and I go for a walk with my dog at 7 every morning. And in the last few days, I'm like, I'm gonna pull looks. I'm not gonna go in my chashma. I'm gonna do a high ponytail, blah blah blah. And I've been going, okay. And I'm like, maybe I'll meet a like-minded individual on this walk of mine, like a new friend. Like I go for my workouts also like before 9 a.m. because I'm like, everyone should be at a workout class in the morning. There's only old uncles on their morning walks or the municipal people cleaning up the streets. There's no one else. And I'm like, why are the young people not out and about in the morning?
That's true, because they're not even drinking anymore.
Yeah, so what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? Like, what? I'm very upset that no hot people on my morning walks. And the uncles are good looking. But I'm just like, in fact, I've made a few friends also. Like, I've made friends with there's
Satish uncle, Ashok uncle.
he calls himself Tiger. And he walks on Carter Road and he like be like, hey, what's this? What's that? He'll keep asking everyone questions. And he's a great guy. He's genuinely like, every time I meet him, I'm like, wow. And then I accompany my old neighbor to the Sabzi Mandi in the morning. I'm just having a good time. But would I like to have a good time with some young people? Also, start walking your own dogs. I don't want to see these dog walkers. Employment, great, but your dog doesn't enjoy these dog walks with a walker.
I also feel like we should diversify dog shoes. I think the boot is an overabused silhouette. Like maybe some gladiator sandals, like Crocs.
Yeah. Why not?
Why not?
I mean, my dog doesn't wear any of those, so he's kind of barefoot. But I wear New Balance. But
I know where this is coming from, by the way, the whole pulling looks thing. Because the other day, Sakshi and I, we were very badly dressed. One would argue that we looked horrific when we were going to office hunt.
Oh, yeah.
And we were waiting in this office space for the broker to show up. And we both squatted on the ground
I
near
have a
the
photo of you.
near the "Don't spit here" sign. Okay. And then 10 people walked by, these like young kids from some office, and they all double took and they knew who we were. And they passed us. And then Sushi barked at one of them and almost bit them.
He didn't buy it.
It was too embarrassing.
Yeah, no, that is the reason I went.
Next day, she made a aloe yoga get ready with me.
Yeah, and then I bought like these Adidas shorts that are like popular and all of that. So yeah, I just feel like walk your own dogs at 7 a.m. on Carter Road if you're hot. I would like to just see and be friends.
Subscribe to this channel, follow us on Spotify, and leave us a comment. We've come from 2.9 stars to 3.3 after the Spotify debacle.
Oh my god, please rate us on Spotify. You know, we'll stop asking if your underwear is hookup friendly. We'll assume it is. How sweet of us. Okay.
Bye.
If you like our outfits, we'll link them down below. Hasina.
Happy Pride.